Good morning, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jasvina, it's a finance class, so you can log out. Okay, we have 9, 10, 11 people. Okay, we'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, in the meanwhile, anybody made an attempt to go to the bank?
No, sir.
No, okay. Anybody else? Is there something special today? Because I guess even in Badgi sir's class, there were less number of students, and now also I see very less number of students. Yes, guys, anyone? Any festival today? If I'm not aware of?
No.
No, sir, nothing is such.
I guess there were less number of students in Badgi sir's class also in the morning? Or the class was started late?
Yes, sir. Even in MB Patil.
Okay.
So we don't get to know the count because we can't see anyways. If the video mode is off, we can't see.
You don't see the participants there? You can, I guess.
We can see the participants.
You can. You have to just scroll your screen. If you're seeing it on the mobile, then you have to just scroll your screen. Just shift your screen.
No, sir. I can't see even after scrolling. If anyone is in the video mode, I can, sir. If no one's in video mode, I can't see the
You can see
participants.
their names, I guess.
No, sir. Not even that. I can only see two screens. Right, sir.
Okay, should we get started? I guess there are around 14 students and we cannot expect more students now to join. So I'll get started. Okay. Uh, Again, yes, whenever possible, okay, please do that task. Okay. Try to complete that task which I had given you. If you remember, hopefully you remember that. Yeah. Only Brunali remembers, I guess. Okay. Is the screen visible, guys? Are you able to see the
Yes, sir.
screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so once again, good morning, everyone. So let us start with
Yes, sir.
yeah, let us start with the next part that we are intending to complete today. Okay, in the previous class, we completed the services rendered by commercial banks. If you remember, we spoke about what is a teller system, what is plastic money, what is online banking, what is a traveler's check, what is a gift check, and what is telegraphic transfer. So today, the last part of commercial banking is what we're going to deal with. Okay, that is the advantages and disadvantages of commercial bankings. Okay, so first one, when we talk about advantages of commercial banking, it provides financial assistance. Okay, because there are commercial banks in the country. Okay, people are getting the facility of finance. They are the finance is available to people for businesses, for trading, for agriculture, for education, for marriage, okay, for sorry, for consumer goods, etc. Okay, so due to the availability of commercial banks or due to the existence of the commercial banks in the country, okay, people are getting financial assistance. That is the biggest advantage of commercial banks. Second is we have studied that the function of commercial bank is providing agency services like okay discounting of bills, then payment of premiums, then investment on behalf of the customers, etc., etc. There are lots of agency services that we spoke about yesterday, if you remember. Okay, under the secondary functions we spoke about the agency functions or the agency services that are provided by the commercial banks. Okay, so because of this the life of people has become easy. Okay, now instead of you missing on a particular insurance premium, if you have given a standing instruction to the bank that the insurance premium has to pay it on this particular date every month maybe, or every year on this particular date the insurance premium has to be paid from the account. Okay, if you have given this standing instruction, you need not worry, bank will take care of your insurance premium. So that is what agency services are, and it has made your life easy. Because of this agency services, commercial banks have made your life easy. So that is another advantage of having commercial banks. Third one is attractive rate of interest. Yes, commercial banks normally the rate of interest charged for loans is lower compared to the money lenders and other sectors, banking sectors, non-scheduled banks, what we call it as. Okay, so yes, the interest rates are comparatively lower in terms of loans as well as in terms of deposits also. Sometimes yes, it is lower. Okay, so but still they are attractive interest rates, so people go for taking loans and advances from commercial banks rather than going for cooperative societies or any other unscheduled or non-scheduled banks. Okay, because the loan interest rates provided or given by the commercial banks are comparatively lesser than other banks. Okay, next one is general utility services. Now utility services includes okay payment of bills, okay, then others like okay payment of your electricity bills, payment of your telephone bills. Okay, all these other services are included in the utility services. So banks also provide utility services. Okay, and like again exchange, currency exchange is another utility service provided by the bank. Then again bill discounting or bill acceptance of bills of exchange, okay, is an utility service again, which comes as which is an agency service also, or it can be considered as a general utility service also. Okay, so because of all these services that are provided by commercial banks, the life of an individual who is dealing with the banks has become easier. Okay, so that is the advantage of commercial banks. And last one is smooth functioning of foreign trade. Okay, since commercial banks are existing, you are able to get the letter of credits, guarantee, export guarantees, import guarantees. Okay, and trading with other countries has become much easier because there is a bank there is a commercial bank in your country whom can provide you guarantee for importing of goods, right, or exporting of goods. So that is how the functioning of the foreign trade has also become very easy because of the existence of commercial banks. Okay, so whenever we see, the advantages are not limited to these 5 points. There are hundreds of advantages of commercial banks because they give you lots of functions, they give you lots of services. Okay, so each and every service is an advantage to you. Okay, so you can write your own advantages of commercial banks. Okay, and make sure that the points are relevant, okay, or you don't repeat the points again and again. Okay, so these are just a few points which makes, or which are the advantages, or which are favorable in terms of commercial banks, is what is this slide talking about. Okay, next slide is, when we talk about advantages, yes, there are disadvantages also, or there are drawbacks. Okay, so let's understand the drawbacks or the disadvantages of commercial banks. First one is insufficient growth. Okay, as compared to the other sectors in the industry, okay, the banking sector is not grown as much as it is required. Okay, now so still we find a lot of places where the banking system has not reached at all. Okay, okay, so insufficient growth is what we can see. Okay, second one is regional imbalance. Again, we find a lots of regional imbalance, like in a particular place there are lots of banks which are situated, but in a particular place there is hardly any bank. Okay, so there is lots of regional imbalance. Okay, that is another disadvantage. Then increasing overdues, yes, because of the economy, let's say, or because of non-payment of the dues, the NPAs in any commercial banks are growing. Okay, the NPA rates are lifetime high this year. Okay, because of various reasons. Maybe COVID is one of the reasons, but economic slowdown is another reason why the dues are increasing. Okay, people are unable to pay their dues, NPAs are increasing. So another problem with commercial banks, or another disadvantage of commercial banks, is increasing overdues. Lower efficiency, yes, the efficiency of these banks is comparatively less when you compare our banks or the commercial banks in India with the banks in other countries. Okay, the banks in other countries work more efficiently, rather than, okay, it's a proved fact, there is research made, and the banks in other countries are proven more efficient than the banks in India. Okay, and most of us have experienced that also, especially with the nationalized banks. Okay, now let us not name one or two nationalized banks, but most of the nationalized banks, when you go as a customer, okay, the kind of service you get in that particular bank, okay, that talks about the efficiency of that particular bank, right? Okay, most of the times we have to wait in queues, we have to wait for people to come, people are not there on their workplaces, and we have to wait for them. Then again there is delay, they ask us to come tomorrow, that tomorrow never ends. Okay, so the efficiency rate, or the efficiency of working in a commercial bank in India especially, is very low. That is another disadvantage. And lack of experts, yes, we do not have specialized banking institutions, though there is IIBF who provides training for banking employees, but everybody is aware how many of them take this particular thing seriously, right? So experts in banking, there are lack of experts in banking. That is another disadvantage of commercial banks. And even if there are experts, these experts do not opt for the commercial banks in India. They tend to go abroad and work in the banking system abroad. Okay, so lack of expertise is one of the disadvantage of commercial banks in India. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages. You can name again numerous disadvantages that you have come across, or that you have witnessed or experienced in terms of commercial banks. Okay, so these are a few disadvantages of commercial banks. So I hope you're clear with the advantages and the disadvantages of commercial banks. Any doubts in any of these points? Okay, if there are no doubts, then we are done with commercial banks. We are moving ahead with the next part of this particular module, that is the banking technology. Okay, now when we talk about banking technology, we can come across these words. Okay, first one is universal banking, home banking, mobile banking, ATM, core banking solutions, and electronic payment system. Now I want any one of you to take one of these and just speak for half a minute. At least tell me what this means. What is universal banking? What is home banking? What is mobile banking? What is ATM? What is core banking solutions and electronic payment? So one by one we'll start. Okay. I'll wait for your voluntary participation to tell me what are these various technologies. Else I'll take out the names later. Okay, let's start quickly,
So
guys.
mobile banking.
Yes.
So
Yes, Brunali.
mobile banking maybe our Google Pay, Phone Pay.
Brunali, your
Like
voice
we
is
can.
very low. Can you speak a bit louder, please?
Sir. So mobile banking.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So mobile banking maybe like Google Pay, Phone Pay. We can transfer our money from anywhere to any account.
Okay, basically
So
use of your mobile apps, right?
mobile. Yes, sir.
Various all the banks, not various banks, but all the banks now have their
Every
own
bank has the
apps,
facility.
right? Mobile banking
Yes, sir.
facility, correct. Like Canara Bank has Can Mobile, SBI has Yono. Okay, in the similar way, all the banks have their own mobile banking app through which you can do transactions, you can transfer money, you can get money. Okay, you can
Yes, sir.
open up a deposit, you can open up an account. All these things can be done using your mobile. That is called as mobile banking. Very good.
So we can save the timing by going
Yes,
in bank
definitely.
and
Yes,
transferring the.
definitely. We can save time. Okay, we can save a lot of time, in fact, and we can do the
Yes, sir.
transactions anytime we want. There's no time
Anywhere, from
restriction,
anywhere.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mrinali. Next, anybody else? Tanaz? Any of the technologies?
Yes, sir. ATM.
Yes, Tanaz, go ahead.
So ATM is automatic teller machine with the help of a debit card.
What is it? ATM?
Automatic teller machine.
It's not
Anytime teller or automatic.
It's automatic
There
or
are two meanings. Okay, sir.
automated?
And yeah, with the help of a credit card or a debit card, you can withdraw money anytime. It's 24 hours available.
Right, right. Okay, so that is another technology that we normally use. Okay, that is ATMs. It is automated teller machines. Okay,
The teller
when we
machine.
spoke about teller system, the services provided by commercial banks, we spoke about teller system that was manual. Now it has become automatic, where you just put your card, or nowadays card is also not required, if you're aware of, right? If you have your mobile in your hand, you can go to the ATM and you can withdraw cash.
Yes,
I
sir.
hope you are aware of this technology.
Yes, sir.
Anybody experienced it? Without an ATM card, you go to the ATM and withdraw cash? If not, please do it. Go to a bank, but provided that bank has provided you that facility, okay? You can just go to the ATM with your mobile, and then you can withdraw cash without even having your ATM cards, okay? But you should have your mobile, okay? Because I guess you get an OTP, okay? This facility is available at State Bank, so you can just try it out once, okay? Yes. Anybody else? Any other technology that you want to speak about?
Sir, electronic payment system.
Who is this?
Sir, Nabiraj.
Nabiraj, yes, go ahead, go ahead.
So electronic payment system is a way of paying for goods and services electronically instead of using cash.
Examples.
And the PayPal.
Sorry, I did not get you.
Sir, PayPal, PhonePe. These are the
Okay,
examples
you are
for
talking
the.
about the UPIs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, then yes, that means you can transfer your money from one account to another account
To
using
another account.
the electronic system,
El-
right?
System.
Using,
Yes, sir.
yes, in electronic payment system like NPS or RTGS,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes.
IMPS.
Yes.
All these are the electronic payment systems. Okay, next. Anybody else?
So home banking.
Who is this?
So Rashmi.
Yeah, Rashmi, go ahead.
The home banking is basically instead of going to branches or banks, we perform all the banking activities at home, sir. So
From
suppose
home, not
from
at
mobile.
home.
Internet.
right? Okay, it's like
Yes,
internet banking. Mobile bank,
yes,
sorry,
sir.
home banking is nothing but your internet banking, where you access the bank accounts and you transfer money or you withdraw money, you invest. Okay, you can do a number of activities. You can see your balance, you can see your statements, you can download your statements and all those things, or you can even order for a checkbook. Nowadays, you can order for a new ATM, lost ATM, and all those things. You can block your cards. All those things can be done sitting at home, okay, through the use
Yes,
of
sir.
internet. That is called as home banking. Very true. Yes, Rashmi, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So we are left
Sir,
with
hello,
only,
sir.
yes, who is this?
Priyanka, sir.
Yeah, Priyanka, go ahead.
Core banking solution, sir.
Yes, yes,
It provides connectivity between all the branches is on all the branches of the bank and through the technologies such as computer and internet,
very nice, very nice. Okay, can you give a simple
so
example,
that the customer.
Priyanka? Can you give a simple example to make
Yes,
it
sir.
more clear? Can you give me a simple example to make it
Yes,
more
sir.
clear? Yeah,
Yes, sir. So that the customer can go nearby banks and do transactions wherever they can do so.
very nice, very nice. Yes, okay. So Priyanka has rightly put what core banking solution is. Basically, suppose you have an account in the Canara Bank in KLECT in our campus. Okay, you have a Canara Bank account, and initially, what used to happen is if you have an account in a particular branch, you have to go to that branch itself and deposit money or withdraw money. Okay, nowadays, due to this core banking solutions, all the branches of a particular bank are interconnected, and you can go to any bank, any branch of that particular bank, and withdraw money or deposit money into your account. Okay, so that is what core banking solutions is, right, Priyanka, if I'm not wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And so we are left with only one, universal banking. Can anybody speak about universal banking? Anyone? We have spoken about universal banking. Okay, when I started with commercial banks, the first thing that I spoke was universal banking. So does anybody
So
remember?
the bank which provide all the facilities.
Correct. Is this Rohin?
So the yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the bank which provide all the services and facilities in one system to the
Very good.
customers.
Very good. Very good. Okay, it provides all the facilities or all the services under the same roof or under the same umbrella. That is called as universal banking, right? Means depositing money, withdrawing, sorry, depositing of cash, giving of loans, providing of investment services, then insurance services, mutual fund services, all the services, all the financial services under the same roof is called as universal banking. Very nice. Okay, so these are the various technologies that are used by banks right now. So we are going to deal with each and every technology in detail, okay, in the upcoming slides. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is universal banking. Okay, so what is universal banking? As Rohin rightly said, banking that includes investment services in addition to services related to savings and loans are known as universal banking. So it includes the entire range of financial services under the same roof or under the same umbrella. That is called as universal banking. Okay, universal services, all the services are provided at the same place. That is called as universal banking. Then let's understand what are the advantages of universal banking. Okay, now I'm talking about economies of scale over here. Can somebody tell me what is this economies of scale? Anyone?
So the advantage is that any manufacturing concern or any organization derives through large volume of production. So
Large scale production. Very true. Very true.
yes,
Good.
sir.
Okay. So can Rashmi, you only relate it to banking now or universal banking?
So the level at which transactions happen.
Okay.
Yes, transactions happen at a very big level, sir. I mean, the customer base is very big
Okay. Fine.
for banks
It's not about
nowadays.
customer being very big, but see, when
Yes, sir.
you're doing lots of services under the same roof, okay, the cost per service reduces.
Yes, sir.
Am I right? Okay, the same,
Yes,
see,
sir.
you have around, let's say 10 people in your branch, okay, and these 10 people are initially, they are just doing the service of giving loans and accepting of deposits. Let us assume that, okay, initially when when this branch was set up, there were 10 people or 10 employees in that particular branch, and their duty or their responsibility was accepting of deposits and giving of loans. Now, if you see, the volume of operation was very less or very limited to only getting the deposits and giving the loans, right? So the cost per service or per loan or per deposit was very high because everything had to be divided amongst this only. Correct? Now what happened? The
Yes.
same 10 people are involved in accepting deposit, giving of loans, making investment services, okay, then going for mutual fund services, insurance services. These same 10 people are doing multiple works now. And the business of the bank is growing. Now every customer will not come here in your bank for only depositing money or withdrawing money. They may come for insurance, they may come for mutual funds, they may come for investment, okay, they may come for exchange of currency, they may come for n number of other reasons now. But who is serving them? The same 10 people. Now imagine the volume of your operation. The volume of operation is growing with the same 10 people. That means you are enjoying that economies of scale. Your scale is growing, your cost is coming down. Cost per unit of service is coming down. That is what economies of scale is. So universal banking helps you in reducing the cost per unit of service. Am I clear on that particular point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Second one is profitable divergence. Okay, like every business, the basic or the primary function is accepting deposits and giving of loans. When you talk about universal banking, you have diversified services. You are into bill discounting, you are into leasing, you are into hire purchase, you are into investment, you are into insurance, you are into n number of services. So what happens? Your business is diversified. Now you find lots of people not going to the bank for withdrawing money. They go to the ATM or they use the UPI. So what happens when the bank is set up and there are no people coming into your bank? That means the cost per service is increasing. But what happens when there is diversification? People may not come to withdraw money, but they may come for some other services. So there are customers who are coming into your bank regularly. Okay, that gives you the advantage of diversion, okay, or diversification. Because of universal banking, you have diversified, and because of your diversification, you are getting businesses from different sources now. Okay, that is what diversification or diversion is. Third one is resource utilization. As I said, initially 10 people were there and they were only accepting deposits and giving the loans. Yes, the utilization of resources was very minimum. Only when the customer came and deposited money, that time the work was going on. Otherwise, they were just sitting idle. But when you talk about, when you gave them other responsibilities of investment and leasing and hire purchase and insurance and all other services, the same resource, the same 10 people got busy. They were tied up with their work throughout the day. So your resources are utilized now. They are not idle, right? So that is advantage of universal banking. Easy marketing on the foundation of the brand name. Yes. Now if SBI, I know SBI has a good brand name, right? If they come up with an insurance policy as they have SBI Life, yes, I have faith in them. Marketing my services as SBI Life would be very easy for me, right? When you compare, okay, let me say, okay, SBI Life with some other insurance, or let's say Star Life. Now, people do not really are aware of what is Star Life, which is the company, who is the owner of that company, okay, which is the parent organization. Nobody knows about it. But when I say SBI Life, yes, they directly connected to SBI Bank, which is more stable, which is backed by the government, right? So what happens is marketing my services because of my brand name becomes very easy for me. So that is an advantage of universal banking. Like because of my brand name, I can uh, market any number of other services which are possible. And one-stop shopping, yes, all the services are available at same place. So it's a mall, it's a shopping mall for financial services. When it's a universal bank, it's a shopping mall for financial services. So these are the advantages of universal banking. Okay, I'll stop here for 2 minutes. Okay, if you have any doubts, please make sure that you ask that doubt, and then we will go ahead with the next part. Anyone? Yes, no doubts. Are everybody's clear with this advantages of universal banking? Guys, everyone is clear with the advantages? Okay, fine. So let me go ahead with the next part, that is the disadvantages. Okay, disadvantages are gray areas like misuse of funds is what is happening in the, because of universal banking. There is lots of misappropriation of funds which is happening in the banking system. Now this may be because of the employees, the dishonesty of the employees, or it may be because of the systems which are not properly implemented in the system. But yes, there are gray areas in the universal banking like misappropriation of funds, okay, misuse of funds, and so on. Okay, so that is one disadvantage which has to be overcome to make this universal banking a successful concept. Okay, next one is no expertise in long-term lending. Yes, expertise, again, as I said, that disadvantages of commercial bank also was lack of expertise. Yes, the same thing continues over here. We do not have proper expertise in long-term lending or in universal banking. And last one is, though we have universal banking or any other services, the problem of NPA is still not solved. Okay, NPA still is a bigger problem in terms of banking systems. Okay, so that is another disadvantage of universal banking. Okay, so any doubts here? Okay, it's very general in nature. Okay, gray area is the misappropriation or lots of areas which are not yet studied or they are not yet solved. The gray areas which are not yet solved. There are lots of areas in universal banking where they are problematic. Okay, which has to be solved. So okay, you can come up with lots of problems with universal banking. Expertise is one, lack of expertise, and third one is, though we have universal banking, though we are talking about economies of scale and all those other things, but what about the problem of NPA? That still remains unresolved. Okay, so this is and these are the disadvantages of universal banking. Any doubts in this particular slide now? Anyone? Any doubts, guys? No? Okay, so today we'll stop the class over here. Tomorrow we'll start with home banking. That is the next part, I guess. Okay, I'll just check. Yes, home banking is the next part that we're going to deal with. So we'll be starting with that next part in the next class. Okay, we'll be starting with home banking, mobile banking, and so on. Okay, so I hope you're clear with whatever we dealt in this particular class. Okay, for today. Okay, Shrutika, are you a finance student? Okay, she ran away, is it? Okay, fine. So are you clear with whatever has been dealt in the class today? Like we dealt with the advantages and disadvantages of commercial banks. Then we started with universal banking. What is universal banking? Advantages of universal banking, disadvantages of universal banking. And we also dealt with, in brief, with the different technologies that are being used in the banking system nowadays. So I hope you're clear with all these points that we dealt today. Any doubts in any of these points? Done? If everybody is clear with these points, then I'll stop the class here itself. Yes, if you're clear, give a thumbs up quickly, guys, so that we can, I'll stop the meeting, end the meeting. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll stop for today. In the tomorrow's class, we'll again continue with the next part, that is home banking, and then your mobile banking, internet, ATMs and all those things. Okay, so thank you. Have a good day. Take care. And I hope you have seen the message on the WhatsApp group about your internship. Please take it seriously, because we are going to review it seriously, and you'll be having presentations shortly. In the next week, you may be having your presentations also on the reports that you have submitted. Okay, those dates, everything would be informed to you on a later stage. Okay, but be prepared. Talk to your respective
Sir,
guides. Yes, Murali.
sir, if we need any changes, sir, like in project report, so then when we need to submit that?
See, first of all, 25th is the date of submission. Okay, once you submit,
Yes.
your guides require at least a week time to review your reports. Understand that, because it's not
Yes, sir.
easy, because around 15, minimum 15 reports are there with each of us. So even
Yes,
if
sir.
you take 2 reports a day, if you want to go thoroughly, or 3 reports a day also, at least we require 4 to 5 days.
5 days.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after you submit, that is 25th, from 26th, 5 days you assume. Okay, or one by one, your guides will start giving you the feedbacks about your report, ask you to make corrections. Accordingly, you have to make the corrections. Okay, so
Yes,
that
sir.
will happen simultaneously. But since you have already done with your study, okay, you can go ahead with preparation of your PPTs, okay, the PowerPoints, so that whenever there is
So like how much slides should we
no,
do
it
for that?
depends on your guides again, Nunali. It depends on your guides. We prefer maximum 15 slides, not more than 15 slides.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'll end the class over here. I guess the HR students are joining in. They are eager to join the classes. Okay, so I'll stop the class over here. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you, sir.